interesting.
Me too. It's fantastic.
So
There's so much to do.
All right, school's out for the summer, so it's time to start thinking of fun activities to do for the kids on summer break.
Yeah, how about a trip to the Mattatuck Museum in Waterbury?
I think that sounds great. Melissa, stop by to check it out.
This is one of my favorites. This is called Impala, and it's made from a belt sander, from a motorcycle clutch, some antlers that the artist found, and some wheels.
This whimsical creation is made entirely out of trash. Yes, items that were thrown away in a San Francisco dump. In fact, Executive Director Bob Burns here at the Mattatuck Museum in Waterbury says that's true for everything in this exhibition.
Recology is the San Francisco city's waste management system, and so in 1990 they invited artists to come to the transfer station, basically the dump, and gave them an artist residency. They give them a studio for 4 months. They're allowed to choose whatever they want, and they create artwork from. So this is a collection of things that came out of that program over that, 30-year period of artists spending 4 months working in trash, basically.
So everything you're seeing on the walls
came out of the San Francisco dump, basically.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Put together by artists into these kind of amazing shapes.
Okay, behind us we have this pretty cool quilt.
That's made of shirt sleeves, which now that I've said that, you can see that.
Yeah.
So this artist found a whole bunch of shirts, took them apart, brought them back together, found some quilt batting in the trash, and then hand embroidered it together to actually make this lovely kind of quilt out of all those things. There's a little bit of a tie up there in the corner pulling it together, and down here as well, but it's really a lovely piece.
So it's true what they say, one man's trash
is another person's artwork.
Next up, Stitching the Revolution, how quilts tell a story throughout history. A New York City artist created this memory quilt in honor of Anne Frank.
Utilizing some more contemporary images to share how a contemporary person might think about her. So you'll see Anne Frank's face, but you'll also see Wonder Woman in there because, you know, she was strong through the face of adversity all the way to the end, and that's the point that Linda Stein is trying to make about her.
This one is from 1850, more traditional in style, likely made for a special occasion like a wedding. And this dates back to Civil War time.
Right after the Civil War, it was created by the Ladies Auxiliary of the Grand Army of the Republic, and it tells the story of Connecticut soldiers coming back from the Civil War. It was made like 2 or 3 years after the Civil War had ended, and it's a part of our collection, but it was in disrepair, and we sent it off to be restored in Albany, and this is the first time I've actually seen it not in like pieces in a box. It's actually a full, beautiful quilt that tells this amazing story as you read your way through it, commemorating the soldiers who lost their lives and those that were heroes during the Civil War.
So it must be exciting to see it all put together.
It is really, really exciting to have it back and put together in one big, beautiful quilt.
Here's something much more modern.
This is brand new, hot off the presses. Willie Dion is the artist who made it. He's a First Nations person, a Native American from Canada. He wanted to create this whole series of transparent quilts. This is his most recent one. And they all sort of have similar topics and themes, but this 8-pointed star that you see in the center here is a very common theme in Native American quilt making. It represents the 4 parts of our life: infancy, youth, adult, and old age. And so it's a really common pattern that appears in an awful lot of quilts by Native American artists, as you see here. But what Willie has done here is used really challenging fabric to create this transparent, luminescent piece that you can see through and walk through, but he really wants you to think about the air around you and the world that we live in.
This room is all about the work of self-taught artists.
So here we have works from hyper-famous outsider artists like Mose Tolliver to people who are artists, self-taught artists from Connecticut, from New Haven and Bridgeport. So it's a really wide variety of very interesting works.
Named He Is Risen, this is by an artist out of Bridgeport. These red, white, and blue pieces were created by Reuben Allen Miller, who grew up in a rural part of Georgia.
And he was making what he calls whirligigs and filling his yard with them. And at some point, REM, when they were down in Athens, made their way through this small, unincorporated town and saw his yard and asked if they could film a video there. So he became an overnight sensation because of that video. And his works are now highly collectible, and many people are looking for them all over the world.
There are 32 pieces in this collection to admire.
Okay, there are some exciting things happening this summer.
There's always exciting things happening at the museum, but we have some pretty regular programming that we do every month. So on the first Wednesday of every month, we have a lunch and learn where people can either bring their lunch or they can get a lunch from us, and we bring in interesting speakers. And in July, we're going to have a speaker coming to talk to us about the Hartford Circus Fire. So that should be a really, really interesting talk.
And did I also hear salsa dancing?
Salsa dancing, yes, you're absolutely right. So on the last Friday of the month, out on our roof terrace, we have a teacher, Edward Trudale, who comes and he gives you like a little brief salsa lesson, and then they play amazing music and people dance into the night. There's drinks, there's food. It's really fun. So there's always the last Friday of the month through the summer.
All right, so lots to check out.
Yeah, and check out our website, mattmuseum.org, for all of our other programs for little kids and grandparents and everyone in between.
Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome.
What a great spot to check out this summer with the kids.
Right?
Yeah. You can find the Mattatuck Museum at 144 West Main Street in Waterbury. They're open 7 days a week.
Wow.
Free parking is
Whoa.
available in the lots on Park Place. And for more information, as you just heard, you can visit their website. It's mattmuseum.org.
Cool.
Yeah, awesome. Still ahead.